Hello and welcome to the University of Rio Grande Women's Basketball Talk Show. I'm Brandon Bice. I'm an assistant women's basketball coach, and today I'll be joined by head coach David Smalley and two of our players who are seniors, Avery Harper and China Chambers. Welcome, Coach Smalley.
Glad to be here, Coach.
Okay, so we're going to start a segment weekly kind of talking about our upcoming games and reviewing last week's games. Before we tip off the season and start talking about this week's opponents, can you kind of wrap up last season and where we are today?
Well, as we all know, last season was just a tremendous challenge for everybody with COVID, and so proud of our players for making it through that, and we did a great job. The players did, the coaching staff did. I think the university overall did a great job, and we muddled through that, ended up playing a pretty full schedule, one of the more full schedules than just about anybody in our conference. And then started out 1-5, things weren't going well, some things changed, and then end up winning 17 out of the last 23 games. So we just end up with a great run, made it to the national tournament, stumbled in the first round, but we got a great group back, and we're excited about where we are and who we are at this particular point.
That's great. And can you kind of update us on the two scrimmages? Did they prepare you? What did we get out of that before we open a season this Friday?
Well, as our program and players know, scrimmages are just glorified practices, and we had two great scrimmages against two very solid teams in our local area, and so pleased with where we are. We got exposed in some areas that we need to be exposed in. I thought we competed extremely well. We did some great things. We're starting to see the blend of our newcomers and our returning players, and I think our scrimmages, as you know, you don't try to win a scrimmage, and we looked at pieces and we looked at chemistry, and I'm excited about where we are right now. We just finished that. We just got off the road this morning. I got home about 1 o'clock. I don't know what time you got home, but it was an exciting trip, and the two scrimmages we had, I think, prepared us, and now we're excited about who we're going to open up with this weekend.
Yeah, and with that, as we talk about what we have returning, we returned everybody back from a team that we really only lost Lexi Woods, who will be redshirting this season. We are very fortunate. We're going to get a fifth year out of senior China Chambers, and it's Avery Harper's fourth year with the program, so she's a senior. So for the first time in a long time, we have more than one senior to kind of lead us.
And lead us, and we're going to rely on, and they have broad shoulders, and they're two great people, very very solid IQs, and they've been around. They know, they have the experience, and we're going to lean on them, and they're great people. Number one, and then China at the point guard and Avery at the forward in the post area. They're going to lead us to where we need to be. They're going to lead the young players, and they're already doing that. And we're excited about what's going to happen. And those two young ladies are kind of on the verge of some milestones that I'm sure you'll talk about here shortly.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely touch that with them. Kind of our identity last year, we were a run and gun team, averaging right around 60 or 86 points a game, giving up around 77. So what will be our identity in this early season that you've kind of already seen the trend starting?
Well, right now we're kind of trying to find ourselves on our identity. We've shot to three a lot and did it extremely well in the past. We're struggling a little bit with that. But the other things that we do, this may be, in my 30 years, one of the best ingredient type of teams in transition that I've ever seen. And we even talked about this at the end of our scrimmage last night, that maybe from a coaching perspective, maybe we need to not be as concerned about set plays and be more concerned about transitional attacks. And it's all going to work its way out. We still can shoot to three. We're still a great three-point shooting team. We're a transition team. Our defense, I think, is going to pick up a little bit this year compared to last year. We got to get in the scoring. We want to be high octane, high profile on scoring and getting it up and down the floor. So we got a lot of ingredients, a lot of things. It's early, but I feel confident and feel good about where we are.
Yeah, and I get a kick out of most comments from coaches when they talk about how we sometimes have a lineup with three bigs, and I'm trying to find where the third big is, because we usually run a guard that just happens to be 5'10" or 5'11", and do you think that that's going to be a tough area for teams to match up with us with our size?
I think several things that we have going for us. We can go different lineups. We can go small lineup and pressing. We can go big lineups and pressing. We can go big zone types of lineups. And I think we're going to create some problems for our opponents. They're going to have to adjust to us. I feel that we're going to be deep. This program, we always kind of take pride in the fact that we play 8, 9, 10 players consistently. I think that's going to be another ingredient that the opponents are going to have to be concerned about. So, again, we got a plethora of talent, different strengths, and we're excited about at least we have that to work with.
Yeah. We'll touch base on this weekend's classic with Milligan and Lawrence Tech, but can you kind of overall touch on our possibly non-conference, and then maybe we'll get into the RSC. We've already had a media day for that where you touched on that, but we can never talk too much about our conference. So can you kind of talk about the non-conference games that we have?
Well, I don't know who my scheduling coordinator is, but I think I need to kind of fire his butt, because in a good way. I mean, as we're going to talk about Milligan and Lawrence Tech, Milligan from the Appalachian Athletic Conference and Lawrence Tech from the Wolverine Hoosier Conference. Then you got Concordia, and we got Shawnee State down the road. Shawnee State had a coaching change, but they're not going to miss a beat. And then Rochester out of Michigan, and of course Indiana Tech, that we certainly want to have a little bit of revenge on them. And then University of Pikeville. So we've got our non-conference scheduling is solid. It's good, and it's going to prepare us as our two scrimmages have. So we're going to go in to non-conference, and we better have them laced up and shoes tied pretty tight, because we got to be focused right at the beginning. This weekend starts it out, and it's just going to prepare us for River State's conference. West Virginia Tech and Rio were picked kind of in a tie, which I've been in this business a long time. It's the first time I've ever seen that. I don't know what that was all about, and mathematically, I don't can that even happen? But anyway, and then you got Midway coming in. West Virginia Tech's good. Rio Grande's good. Midway's good. New coach down there. They brought in some new players, and then you throw in the Point Parks and IU East, and our buddy Coach Mills down at Alice Lloyd's going to be good. So we're going to have about 4 or 5 teams that are just unbelievably tough in this league. And in this league, in the past, we were soft, I think, in the eyes of Raiders. I think that's going to change this year.
Yeah, definitely. And I may be a little biased, but I think we're the best team in the conference.
There you go.
But we'll go out there and prove that. So before we get in, again, previewing this weekend's games, do you want to talk about your basketball that you have here on the front?
Well, we're highlighting this, and that's pretty sweet. And we got a special person. We got a special person in our program, and has been in our program since 2009 and 10, Coach Joey Hoover. Quick story on Coach Hoover. Sarah Drabinsky, who played for us in that time frame, was in the nursing department or nursing program. She became friends with Joey's mother, Robin, and Robin has passed away, but Sarah became friends with Robin through clinicals. And then Sarah asked one day, "Coach, do you mind? Can my friend Joey come and sit on the bench with us?" And from that point on, it was just magical. Joey is just a tremendous young man. He's a great basketball mind. He loves the players. He loves basketball, and he loves us, and we love him. And Joey's been with us since 2009 and 10. And last season, COVID kind of rocked his world a little more than the rest of us, and he wasn't able to attend as many games, but he got his 200th win. So we're going to present this ball to Coach Hoover, the first game that he's able to attend this season. If that's this Friday, then that's when we're going to do it. If it's next week or whatever. So we're excited. This is Joey's 200th win ball. It's Rio Grande 2020-21 200th win. Coach Joey Hoover. And Joey, this ball's for you, and the girls are excited for your support and your accomplishments over the years. And Bubby, let's get 200 more before I get out of here.
How long you plan on staying?
However long it takes, brother.
No, big shout out to Coach Hoover. We love you, buddy. We can't wait to have you on the bench with us, and partaking in the games every week. So now let's get into this weekend's opponents. So we have Milligan on Friday and we have Lawrence Tech on Saturday. Just kind of give us a little overview of both and what fans can expect, style of play, and what we got to look forward to.
Well, Milligan comes out of the Appalachian Conference. They've been pretty decent in that conference, and that we're trying to reach out to different conferences and get some play against different conferences because that's where the Raiders are. Milligan's going to come in here, probably going to see some zone. They got a pretty good post player that we're probably going to have to be concerned about. It's their opener. It's our opener. They don't know anything about us. We don't know anything about them other than analytical, statistical things from in the past. But I guarantee you they traditionally have done a lot of zone stuff, and we got to take care of the post player on the inside. For us, we want to get in transition. We want our athleticism. We want to be us. We're not so concerned about Milligan. We've got to be us. Then the next day, going up against a team that's got pretty much one of the premier guards that we'll go up against, and a completely different style of play, where Milligan's probably going to throw a lot of zone and trapping at us. Lawrence Tech's going to probably throw a lot of man, and they're a transition-oriented team, and we're going to have to be concerned about the point guard. So we're contrasting two different styles, and that's what this great game's all about. You got to be able to adjust, and you got to be able to make your adjustments to counter the opponent, and I think that's going to be a great test for us this weekend.
Yeah, and it's always good. I know for the players, they enjoy playing new opponents. Milligan, not on the schedule for a while.
Yep.
It's been several years since we've been able to play Milligan. Lawrence Tech, we all feel that we owe them a different turn of events from last year. That's who we opened up the season with. We played a game in a mask. Literally the people on the court, and it was one of those where we didn't feel the outcome of the score was really who we were and what we do. So we hope to rewrite history in that aspect. So two tough opponents we're going to play this weekend. Hopefully we'll get 2 wins. Hopefully the Red Storm Nation will come out and support us in that, and it's something we're looking really forward to as the season, and we're happy it's here for Friday. So before I let you go and talk with the players, is there anything else you'd like to say to the Red Storm Nation?
Yeah, a couple things. This weekend, come on out and support these young ladies. They've worked extremely hard. They're a great group of young ladies, and they're going to entertain you. We tell them they're entertainers, and that's their job to go out and do that. This weekend on Friday, our game sponsor, which is a new thing that Coach Bias has brought in. We did it last year and had a lot of success. Our game sponsor this Friday is Riverfront Nutrition, LLC. That's in the Gallipolis area. That's a Macy Siders connection there, and we're excited to have them as a game sponsor on Friday. Then on Saturday, it's 5R Farms, the Rear family, and that's a Courtney Pfeiffer connection. And we try to highlight the game sponsors, and we have game sponsors for every game. And if you out there in the public want to get involved with this, get a hold of Coach Bias, and we've still got a few games I think that we could probably use some sponsors for. So the sponsorship goes towards the program, goes towards the players, and helps us give them what the players need. And man, we're probably going to take a trip here down the road, maybe to Hawaii or Puerto Rico. So that's what that's all about.
Yeah, definitely. And we can't thank our sponsors enough. With you all donating and supporting us, it allows us to give every player on our team, the experience that they seek for whenever they go and play college basketball. Mm-hmm. So, Coach Molly, we appreciate your time. We're going to bring on 2 of our seniors to speak with them. Hopefully they won't say anything too bad about you.
All right.
And good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Welcome back. Now joining me on the stage is senior China Chambers and senior Avery Harper. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
So kind of want to get into a few things with you all, but first, China, you're going into your 5th year here at the University of Rio Grande. Avery, you're going into your 4th. Kind of want to bring up, just let you kind of talk about maybe some of your favorite memories or a memory, why you've been a part of the women's basketball team or just at the university. I'll start off with my favorite memory of both of them. We'll start off with Avery. Whenever we're playing at IU Southeast, and we can't really get anything going, and they don't want to guard her at the three-point line, which is a bad decision. And you make 5 threes in the second half, and we get a win. That was that was one of my favorite memories with you. And China's is a unique story. So in China's is she's a lady of few words. So this really didn't have any words in it. We're at Ohio Christian, and she gets off of the bus to walk in as we get there through the back entrance, and she's walking, and usually I see a knee brace dangling off of her book bag, and I didn't see it. And as she's walking in, I'm like, "Hey, China, where's your knee brace?" And she puts her head down with a grin, and I knew that she didn't have it. And I'm like, "Okay, this ain't good." So obviously, China mounted up that game. She played without the knee brace and had one of her better performances, and the rest is history, as she didn't use the knee brace the rest of the year. So do you care to kind of maybe share one or two of your best memories that you've had since you've been at Raya? We'll start with China.
Yeah, my best memory was my freshman year when we went to the conference championship and we won.
Yep, that was a 30-4 team.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a good one. We hope to rewrite history and have add a second one to you this year.
Yes.
Avery?
One of my favorite memories was probably playing in Hawaii. We got to go down there for a week, play a few games, and enjoy the beach.
And as you say Hawaii, and you bring that up, I'll talk about one of mine and Coach Smalley's favorite memories to laugh about. Mm-hmm. As we're in Hawaii, that was a few days after China had tore ACL. She didn't want to miss out on going to Hawaii, so she went to Hawaii. And as we're sitting up where the spectators kind of walk around and everything while people are enjoying the beach and swimming, we see something really far out in the distance, and we're trying to make out what it is. And all of a sudden, we just see a crutch sticking out of the water, and there's China out in the middle of the ocean. She wasn't going to miss her beach time, so she went out there. So I guess kind of wrapping all of that up is you all have had many great memories here, and you've caused a lot of great memories for your coaches too. And we're just looking forward to an awesome senior season for both of you. And kind of leading into that, both of you all are on a crash course with 1,000 points. Which is pretty spectacular, as only, I believe, 33 people have done that in school history in a storied program. We'll start with you, China. You're currently 28 points away from 1,000. Can you kind of talk about, how you've got to this point and what are you looking forward to this season?
I kind of just played I didn't keep up with my scores, so that's something new to me. But I just played, and this season I'm just looking forward to having a better season than last year. I think we'll be great this year. We got a lot of newcomers. We got a lot of people that came back. So, yeah.
Again, a lady, a few words. But I'll tell you what, and anybody that watches this that's ever played for me, I mean, even Avery, one of the nicest people around. There's probably only one person that I've ever been associated with and coached that I've never had one conflict ever with, and it is China Chambers. Even me and Avery sometimes get heated at each other. We love each other afterwards, but we get heated. So looking forward to your senior year, China. Avery, you're 64 points away from 1,000. Can you kind of talk about, how you've got to this point of your career?
I think just really great teammates, coaches. Like China said, just kind of play. I don't keep up with my scores either, but I've been blessed with a lot of good teammates around me, so I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be 64 points away if it weren't for them. Great coaches to play for, and I'm just excited to get this year started.
Yeah, definitely. And both of you had total different starts to your career. China was kind of implemented into a team. She got the start right away. That 30-4 team. Avery, you came in. You didn't know if you were going to get to play your freshman year because of, a lot of those 30-4 members from that team were still around until the injuries. So, both of you have handled different, adversities in your career. China with your injury, Avery with the upperclassmen. But whenever it came your time to shine, both of you stepped up to the plate and definitely produced. And that's what gets all of us excited for your senior year. Lastly, before we get into anything, I just want to kind of, if each of you can kind of tell your personal goal and your team goal for this season. We'll start with China.
My personal goal is to coach up the newcomers, make them become better than the team last year or this year. Hopefully get them to play hard, be ready to play hard teams. So.
Yeah, and do you have any personal goals for yourself? What would you like to do this season?
I like to get another ring, definitely. I like to get more wins than loses.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely want to try to get as many wins as possible. We don't have to get any losses if it's cool. Are you cool with that?
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely make Coach Smalley sleep better at night, and Coach Markham, and myself. Avery, kind of what is your personal goals for this season and team goals?
One of my personal goals is to hit that 1,000-point milestone. Definitely, I want to be as good of a leader as I can, and just make sure that everybody kind of meshes and that we have a good year. Team goals, I want a ring. I've never got a conference championship, so that's definitely number one on the list. And then make it back to the national tournament and get a win.
Yeah, definitely. And like Avery said, she hasn't got a conference championship. She wants to get that. We're very fortunate with the program that Coach Smalley has built and held over the decades here of 30 years, is that each player that comes into this program within a 4-year period has the opportunity to play for a conference championship, win a conference championship, and play at the national tournament. Now, last year we went to the national tournament. We didn't win a conference championship. So I have a feeling there's two people sitting beside of me that definitely is going to have something to say about that conference championship before the year's over with. And with that, we conclude today's women's basketball show. We'll be back next week as we'll preview and review the last 2 games from this weekend, and then we'll look forward to our classic that we have next weekend. So until then, come out and support us. This Friday, we play at 8 o'clock, and then we also play on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Hopefully we'll get 2 wins, and we'll have a good show for you next week as we'll bring on 2 more players along with Coach Smalley. So until then, Red Storm Nation, we'll see you later.